showtime. Come on. Let's do this. Oh yeah. Hey guys, welcome back. Uh-oh. We can't hear Justin. Oh, Justin.
Yeah. Welcome to the... What?
We couldn't hear you. Come on, man.
Seriously?
All the build up.
All right. Yeah. Welcome to the 1UP Weekly Live. Yeah.
All right. Hey, whatever. You know, the countdown was due.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
we don't know. Justin, I am super pumped up tonight.
Are you
super
pumped?
up.
Are you
Yes.
pumped?
Yep. I am harnessing all this energy for good.
Nothing's gonna let you down, right?
Never gonna let you down. Where's that go? How's it go? Never gonna give you up. I'm Rick rolling my you down. Did I get Rick
Never
rolled
gonna
today?
run around it.
That's
All right.
right.
That's right. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. You know, we had a plan, and we're going to stick to that plan. But I think there's another topic that a lot of people are going to want to hear about. We know everyone in the chat is talking about it. I think we'll eventually get to that. But let's try to focus on something fun for a while. How about that? Right?
Yeah. There is something I will address at the end of the episode, but we're keeping this upbeat, and we're gonna go right into it. So basically, we want to, everyone wants to know what's Arcade1up been up to, right? Because we had CES. You know, Justin and I were there. We covered the crap out of it, right? We just covered the hell out of it. There's a lot of really cool things there, right? We had the Pac-Man, we had the NBA Jam, we had the Frogger, we had the bench from Star Wars, but a lot of us are wondering, well, what's going to happen next? What are they working on next? And Justin, there was this video that was published and then taken down by Arcade1up, and it was a documentary about Arcade1up, and it really pumped me up because this company kind of came out of nowhere, and they had this product, and it seemed like a passion project, but I couldn't really tell, and it just continues to kind of improve and get better, and the video pumped me up, and I think a lot of people didn't see it, and I kind of want to decipher the video because there's a lot of really cool things in it.
Yep, that's right. So when we were at CES, we did talk to them a lot, and now time has gone by, right? So let's talk about that just for 1 second, right? So what are the things that were announced at CES that we have seen start to come out? So let's discuss about it. Those in the chat, what do we got? So we got Pac-Man. You know, those are arriving. NBA Jam is coming soon. We know you can pre-order for Frogger, but we don't have that Sega cab just yet. While we were at CES, that one, if I remember correctly, wasn't fully ready. For example, they were showing us, they said there were some features the emulation company was still working on. Yep. And they also said there was kind of these two timelines of when they were going to be releases. One was around Father's Day, and the second one was around holiday. So even though we have the pandemic going on, they're still releasing things according to that original plan, at least what they said at CES. So that's really good news. But what's next? And so a little bit in the video, and based on the discussions we've had with John D. and Scott, is it Scott Baccarat? Is that right? I'm saying it wrong. I
say Baccarat, but I might be wrong. I mean, really good guy, by the way. Super awesome guy. We met him at CS. So I do want to, we're getting super chatted here. My family, thank you for the super chat. We will talk about that later on today, but appreciate that definitely. And there was one more super chat. Took a nap last week and slept right through the stream. So thank you. Well, hopefully you're awake for this one. So we're super pumped up and excited. Yeah.
That's right. So based on the information that we got from CES, some conversations that we've had with them, plus this video, we're gonna dive deep into it, give you our opinion. Now, some of these are speculations, but it's based on conversations that we've had with Arcade1up, and then us, really analyzing everything that's for the last 2 years almost now with the industry, and at least give you our best guess of what's going on. And
because there's some things at face value in the video that I think are probably just there and probably aren't happening, but we'll talk about those. We'll talk through those because I think sometimes the obvious isn't always the obvious, right? It's But there's some things to hang on to in that video that are exciting that we'll go through that I think is the reason why the video was unpublished. But that's okay. We have liberty to talk about it. I kind of had a conversation with them. They're okay with us talking about it. So
yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and add that video right here into the stream here, and we'll play it.
Where'd I go? You made me disappear. I made my family disappear.
Wait.
Oh wait, that was Home Alone. There we go. Oh, wait, I didn't. Wait, I made my family disappear. Not my family. You know, from Home Alone. Remember when he wakes up and he's all, "I made my family disappear." Yeah.
Wait, I made my family disappear?
not my family, the actual person that no, not my family, but my family. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So here we go. This is it.
Lots of hours, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, passion. And truth be told, this literally started off as a passion project. And when we saw what it was evolving into, it continued. So a lot of my life is in this project right now. I was the original gamer. But I was a gamer before it was cool to be a gamer. I was a guy who grew up in Southern California in the arcade rooms, and had my hat on backwards and was playing Pac-Man and Galaga and Asteroids, and it was a great place for me to kind of lose myself. I saw Urban Outfitters selling a product that you could plug in at home and play arcade games. I bought it and I brought it home, and I was playing it with my friends and family, and I wasn't having a good experience. It was boring. The next day, my development team started to explain to me the technical reasons as to why that was not a great experience. And that became the impetus of the idea of making an at-home arcade system. And so what we did was we literally looked at a real arcade machine and said, what can we take from this? How do we move it to a home position? And how do we accomplish three goals? Price point. How do we make something that's $500 or less? Because we happen to think that's a magic price point. Number two, how do we make it portable? A real arcade machine is 6 feet tall and 300.
Justin, you want to stop it there real quick?
Yeah.
And then the third thing is how do you...
So far, he's going through like the idea, right? How did it form? And then how are they going to execute on that idea? And the execution, that's the key part. Like we've talked about this, Ralph and I, work business, we're not business people as in we run our own business, but we work for big companies, right? And it's about the execution. You can have a million ideas. People reach out to us all the time. They're like, hey, we got this idea. You want to join us?
Yeah.
Well, the idea is one thing. It's the execution of the idea. And that's what Scott's breaking down right now. He's like, how did we take that idea to something? In our first nugget of there was a first nugget where we want to keep track of where we are maybe so we can get back to that point. But do you want to scroll back? There's one nugget right off the bat, or should we play through and then gotta go back? However you want to do it. Where do you want to go back? Yeah, if you scrub back, there's the scene where they're at the conference room table. Now there's something there that was interesting because we had some conversations. Go back more. A little bit more. It's when he says me and my team, and there's it's right. Yeah, go back more. There we go. So obviously the one thing that you see in here, this was brought up by I can't think of the name of his. Is it Toycade? Is that the name of his? Toycade?
Yes. Yeah. So Toycade did a video where he goes, hey, look, in the background there's a Street Fighter 2 with a live logo on it. So that is the same Street Fighter 2 in the back. I think that's just concept artwork. But yeah, that's probably a possibility. Like we were talking to them about them retooling cabs like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, which they say they have plans to do. At some point down the road. There's no commitment date on that, but I would imagine if they get the Wi-Fi right on NBA Jam, and they're working with Code Mystics, who does a really good job of that, I think if they were going to re-release it, that would probably be something they'd try to achieve, right? I mean, it's a very big possibility. But again, there's nothing confirmed there, but it is an interesting nugget. But one thing you're going to notice throughout this video is they're in their offices in different locations, so there's prototypes of lots of different cabinets, and sometimes those are put together just to show different companies and say, would you be interested in a product like this, right? Hey, we mocked it up for you. That's the same with the Golden Tee. We haven't heard about the Golden Tee. They never committed to the Golden Tee, but that might have been just a mock-up for incredible technology. So kind of cool, right? To get a little bit of inside scoop.
That's right. So as we go along, this one right here, this is clearly their New York office, so it's their, I think he was saying their product development team. And behind it, they got all their cabinets. But if you take a look at the video, they're in different locations, like Ralph was saying. So we can jump back. What is it? We're around 120. So obviously this is, their manufacturing they're testing and preparing. And then this, so we passed this. I think this was their Hong Kong office. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And so in this,
you can kind of see the you can see the Golden Axe concept in the back. You can even see Contra, which that's not a cabinet they're releasing, but it's just a mock-up back there. I actually talked to John D about that. And if you look, there's even like some kind of different mocked up golden tea back there too, you know?
That's right. And so we've seen some pictures from their Hong Kong office in the past, and it's not actually teasing. It's not them trying to leak information. We've been told, and you probably saw the picture from 2018. Remember 2018, they had pictures of like, I don't know, it was like 20 cabinets, and one of them was like even Donkey Kong. And so they
even had one that had a Streets of Rage logo on it. It was like on the bottom, you could see clearly it was Streets of Rage. It's like that wasn't even an arcade game, but they were probably just toying with some ideas, right?
That's right. So they have access to these manufacturers, and the manufacturers, they can say, hey, we want you to build to the likeness all of these cabinets, like all of them. And one thing that they've mentioned before, it was in some of the interviews that we've done, where they said that they have tested like tons of variations. They say it's one of their steps, right? One of their steps is they actually play the cabinet in the 3/4 scale form to judge if this is a cabinet that the fans would actually like. Because some of the titles are really big titles, but they're actually not fun games necessarily when you're in the free play experience and outside of a real arcade, Dragon's Lair. So, you know, when we look at these videos, we gotta wear those glasses. We're like, this Hong Kong office, you know, if you see a Tron in there, don't freak out because they're totally not coming out with Tron. And we can continue with the.
There was a funny chat or message by Jeff Rainwater. He said that the Streets of Rage was just to troll me. Probably. I mean, that would be an easy way to troll me. That's for sure. All right, Justin, let's get back to the video.
That's right. So I think we were right around here. Let's say.
Yeah, it was right around there. Yep.
Number 2, how do we make it portable? You know, a real arcade machine is 6 feet tall and 300 pounds and $3,000. And then the third thing is, how do you get that true arcade experience? And so with all of those 3 parameters in place, we started to go down a development process to make sure that we can achieve each one of those. When we started making arcades, we just followed a roadmap that had already been made. So it was literally by year. You had Asteroids, you had Centipede, you had Pac-Man, you had Galaga. We really listened to our fan community. So most, if not all, the good improvements we've made with our product has always come from the fans, whether those are matching risers, light up marquees, whether those are faster response times for our buttons. Those are all improvements that have been made from people asking for them. I've had so many aha moments during this process that I don't know where to begin, but some of the highlights that come to play, 2018, we won Tech Toy of the Year. And so being up on stage with our peers of Hasbro, Mattel, and others was incredible. Being at the trade shows and stepping back and watching literally hundreds of people playing our video games and putting smiles on their faces. But some of the best moments that I've been proud of are getting emails from consumers who have said to me directly, thank you for what you've done. You brought me back to a simpler time in my life and in my childhood. And that, to me, it's actually worth more than almost anything. It's been priceless. I'm very, very, very proud to be able to say that I had a small part in this process.
You want to pause it there?
Yep.
We've had...
So, you know, the one thing that's kind of interesting to me is I got a chance to... I've met Scott a couple different times.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I met him, it was really quick. It was really brief, and I didn't really get a chance to talk to him. That was the first... That would have been E3 20... That would have been 18 or 19? I can't remember.
18.
Maybe 18? Yeah, 2018. Yeah. Then I didn't meet him again in person until you and I met him at CES. And right. and there's just like... First of all, the guy is super likable, right?
Yeah.
And he's a super likable guy. I love that he's very raw. Like he's just kind of says, like, you don't meet many CEOs like that are just, you know, he doesn't really worry about what he says sometimes. And he definitely is a passionate guy. Now I resonate with that really well because I'm a passionate guy. And sometimes you, in a moment of passion, you say things. But I kind of feel like he's got a lot of heart. And I think the company has a lot of heart. You know, it has an identity, which is interesting. Like I know who the CEO is. You guys, he's putting himself out there. there are other representatives from the company putting themselves out there,
That's right.
which is really cool. Like if I was going to compare them to another company that I'd say I don't know anything about them as far as who they are, like a heart and soul, is like Toy Shock. I know it's a small company, but like they released a product and they didn't have a face. Like there was no face to the company. And I think sometimes you like just as a general consumer, you kind of connect with a company differently if you have a face behind it.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Yeah, for example, if Ralph and I were able to build a company, I know for sure one of our things would be like, how do we, be like Scott? How do we, interact directly to the consumer, even though we have a retailer in between us, right? And that's what Scott's doing. He's an example to really follow if you want to be successful in business. And we've all seen that on the Facebook groups. You say, "Hey, I really appreciate you." With the Pac-Man cabinet, all that you've done, and he'll be like, "Hey, I appreciate that." Here's the CEO of the company reaching out to you. And he takes the criticism that we have as well very seriously. When we were in CES, him and John gave us a lot of time, and it felt like we were doing a lot of talking, which was surprising. Didn't expect it. Like they were listening, like literally. We were like, "Hey, so we asked some questions, and then they answered those questions, but really quickly the table turned." And we were like giving them advice, and they were like, "Okay, all right." And it was really cool to like feel like you're being heard.
yeah. So I know this is a interruption to the show really quick, but Brian did something very cool. He sent some money via PayPal. I didn't have to do that, but he called it the NBA Jam Relief Fund. He called it non-returnable. You really didn't have to do that. I very much appreciate it. Again, I'll get to that story at the end of the show, but that was very, very nice of you. You did not have to do that, but it's very much appreciated. But that's cool. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So
All right, let's.
Tremendous success, obviously, with our classics. Some of our newer ones, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, first 4-player game, has been gobbled up from consumers. Our Marvel, incredible. Star Wars, fantastic. Wait till you see what we're releasing in 2020. So the future for Arcade1up is very bright. Some of our newest titles are going to be coming out. NBA Jam is huge. So you'll actually be able to play up 2 NBA Jam machines in 2 different homes and be able to play head-to-head. We're going to celebrate Pac-Man in 2020 with its 40th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking the success that we had with arcades and having natural extensions that you're going to see coming out next year. So things like virtual pinball. We're going to be coming out with the first infinity gaming table.
Pause.
What?
Pause.
What?
Okay. I have no freaking clue what an infinity gaming table is, but I want one. Like, what's an infinity gaming table? Okay, so that was the one thing I think that's why I kind of confirmed that's why they pulled the video down. I think Scott kind of was like, they said that, and they're like, he probably said it. So they brought it to some editor to edit it, and they put it on the site, and someone went, "Oh, you talked about the infinity gaming table." I don't know what that is,
Right?
But it sounds like you're gonna maybe. I mean, I have an idea of like conceptually what it might be, but
Okay,
I have no clue. Like literally, they have
based
not
on
told
the
me a
name
thing.
Based on the name, what do you think it could be then?
So I think what it could be is maybe like bringing different kind of table games to like electronic form.
Right.
Maybe that's the only thing I think of. Like I kind of think touch
we've-
screen and that
Right.
kind of stuff. I don't know though.
It sounds really cool, and it sounds like a new product, right? It's not just like it's a coffee table maybe that you can play board games on. It's the best.
I hate the term functional furniture, but maybe that's what it is. We all know the Pac-Man gigantic stick is also very functional. But anyways.
Right. Yeah. So we're almost done here.
Classic board games with some other things as well.
Oh, he did say it. Okay, he does say board games.
Yep. Okay. So this
That's
is
not the
where
end of the video, though.
No. Like, let me jump ahead. So he does a lot of thank yous to a whole bunch of people. That's what this is, which I think is awesome. It's great that Scott is thanking individuals and his company. And in fact, it's basically over at that point. He gives a special thanks to a whole bunch of people that work with him. And as a CEO, I think that's really, really cool that he did. But I think all the nuggets are done. At that
Yeah,
point.
yeah, and I mean, so like just before we kind of pick apart a little bit more here, the one thing that's kind of, it's kind of interesting is, they started and they had a lot of mistakes, right? I mean, there were a lot of mistakes, there were a lot of problems and stuff like that. And I as a consumer of anything, right? I'm usually more forgiving when I see the company start to actually improve things, and they definitely did that, which is good. I
Yep.
mean, there's still problems, but there's problems with all of these companies right now, right? There's certain things that they're trying to get right. When you think about like the original arcades that hit, the commercial arcades, they were built for thousands of people playing them, so they were very hardened in that way.
Yep.
And I think sometimes, with this product, they went through a lot of hurdles where it took them a while to get sort of the quality parts of it right. And they're even now starting to still improve upon that. The thing I loved about Scott is any of the offline conversations I've had with him or online, he's very forthcoming with the fact that he understands that the quality can be improved, and he understands that support is maybe not exactly what it could be. But Justin, I think you and I can definitely relate to this. So working in technology, it's really hard when you have a rocket ship product to marry support with the product, because if you anticipated I'm going to sell 10,000 of these and you sell 100,000 of these,
Right.
you might have had like, oh yeah, 30 people on the phone can handle
Right.
that. And you're like, oh, actually we need 300 people on the
Right.
phone. So that's tough, right? That is a challenge.
Yeah, that's
A
right.
valid challenge.
It absolutely is when you're dealing with a massive scale like that, and you didn't anticipate it, which is clearly what Arcade1up is in, because they called it originally a passion product. Remember, we've talked about this a few times, where we were following their website, tastemakers.com, which is the parent company behind Arcade1up. But now I would be surprised. Arcade1up is a brand, it's a product. The company's Tastemakers, but pretty much the brand is taken over the company.
Oh yeah, like when you went to the website before, I think you got like Hatchimals and some of the other
Right.
products they had developed. Now it's like, I mean, I'm sure they still have stakes in a lot of those things, but now
Sure.
they've become the baby projects, and this is the one, right?
That's
which
right.
which imagine, just put yourself in their shoes for a minute. Like, do you think that they believed that it would get as big as it is? Like, I'm
No.
gonna go with no.
No.
I think they had no clue how massive it would get.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think, I really don't, right? I don't. And it got huge.
Yeah,
And so imagine
how
your
big?
brand,
How big are we
yeah.
talking about? Like we've said this on the show before. They announced that they've sold or moved 1 million cabinets. That's a lot of product.
Yeah. Wait, hold on, this is crazy. What Paul, so those of you who don't know Paul Prue, he's someone I went to. So I'm going to say this story real quick. I'm breaking out of this for a second. So Paul is someone I went to high school with, really good friend, and we were total nerds together. We did all nerdy stuff, computers, and he worked at the local arcade in Lincoln, Rhode Island, where I was from, called the Dream Machine. And I want to know what he's talking about. It says,
Yeah.
Ralph, I have a picture of you beating the original arm wrestling game. Okay, if you have that picture, Paul,
Yeah.
and it's possible for you to get that to me on this show,
Yeah.
you gotta send it, dude.
That would be
please, 'cause
awesome, dude.
I'm probably wearing some really lame, like Michael Jordan tank top or something. Like it's got to be an awesome picture. So we need to get that picture.
Yeah, so when we discussed 1 million arcades before, remember we rushed? We were like, wait a second, how many units did Pac-Man itself sell? And so I don't
Yeah.
remember the exact figures, but it was like as a whole.
It was like 300 something. I can't remember. I want to say it was like 300,000, or I can't remember.
Yeah, in like
something
1981 or something like
Yeah.
that. And so we were saying, like, as a whole, Arcade1up. Now again, it's every single cabinet put together. Lots of Street Fighters, lots of Star Wars, right? You add all those up together, they're like competing with single size cabinets, right? With the amount of total sold. So that's really cool.
That's funny. I don't know if I had guns, dude. I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Yeah, that wrestling game was totally on easy, right?
It was definitely on easy for sure.
He worked at the arcade. He pressed the button and gave you a whole bunch of credits, right?
Oh, wait, I didn't give a chance to tell Paul where to send it. So, Paul, if you do have that picture, send it to RetroRalph1980@gmail.com if you have it. And then let me know if you do. If not, then it's no worries. But if you did, that'd be pretty awesome. So yeah, so Justin, the other thing too is like, I think the reason why I hang on to and like, we were in New Jersey. Oh my gosh, I remember that. I think we went to like the Jersey Shore or something. Typical Rhode Islanders going to the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
I was like, hey Paul, check out this game over here. It's arm wrestling. It's awesome. But no, when you think about it, I think the thing that I hang on to so much with Arcade1up and why I really like it so much is because of the way they look. Like they're going after that whole vibe of, yeah, you can't have a full-size arcade cabinet, or you can, but you know there's all the things that go along with that. But if I could give you a mini one that kind of looks similar to it, you know, I don't think that I ever thought that I'd see, even when I first bought them, I put 3 of them in a row, but I didn't think you'd see people putting them in their entire house. I mean, Justin, you and I talked about this earlier this week. There's a guy that like remodeled his whole basement to be able to put them in his basement and make it an arcade because he wanted an arcade so bad. He has some real arcade games in there too, but you know, that's pretty awesome. Like it's bringing something to reality that would be next to impossible. And even though there are arcades out there that can play thousands of games, there's still the person that wants that ease of use and that simplicity of a single game or a couple games on a system. I mean, look at me. I bought all these full-size arcades and I play them sometimes more than my like, I have an At Games Legends Ultimate. I have all these things that can play thousands of games. Sometimes you just want to get up in front of it and play.
Yeah, that's right. Like recently we were talking about we were going to go ahead and create a series of videos. Do you remember that, Ralph? We're going to create a series of videos that teaches you how to use an Arcade1up cabinet because this is totally missing on YouTube. Like no one's doing it. So I don't know, Ralph. Like, yeah, don't you? You know, we were talking about it, right? So you don't want to go here,
Are
do
you saying that we need to start an Arcade1up Academy?
Yeah, school's in session. So let me show you.
All right, Justin. Okay, we're gonna do it right now. So you see that Pac-Man machine behind you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you that one's not modded, right? Or is that one modded?
That one's modded.
Okay, what's the other one? That one's not modded, right? The Centipede?
Which one?
The Street Fighter's not modded, right?
Street Fighter's not modded.
Okay, we're gonna do this right now. I'm gonna give you instructions on how to shut it off. Ready? School is in session.
Okay.
Okay, so Justin.
Yeah.
I know you turned it on, so you at least know that there's a on-off button, correct?
That's right.
All right, what I'm gonna need you to do, and this is really, it's very important that you really, really focus on this.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to get up. I'm gonna need you to look at that control panel, and there's gonna be a switch, and it's gonna say on the right and off on the left.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to move that switch from one side, which is the right side it's on right now, to the left side. And when you do that,
let me go try it. Let me go try it.
Okay. Look closely. Yeah. That's it. Yep. Yeah. You got it. Whoa! You did it! You graduated! Woo!
Back on.
Oh, this is hard. So you got to take the button and switch it the other way, back where it was, to the right.
Let me try it.
To the right. Ah, yeah, you did it. Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, maybe next week you can tell me how to change the volume.
That's awesome. Hey, you did a good job. Good job. You did a good job.
I really appreciate it, Ralph.
Yeah. Well, I commend you. That was tough. I know that was hard. We'll do volume next episode. Next episode, we're gonna do volume, and then after that, we're gonna do I don't know. Maybe we'll do moving it, like picking it up and moving it from a room to room. Okay. Something like that.
Yeah, like P-Dubs is saying, we're just copying him. Sorry. That's what we're in the business of doing, is just watching P-Dubs videos and then copying them.
Exactly. It's 100%.
100%.
So all right. So other things in that video that are interesting to me, and are like, you know, there's the Contra cabinet, there's a Tetris cabinet in the background, and a couple things. Now, I don't think any of those are actually coming out either. But again, those are like concept artwork that they'll put together, and they might tinker with the idea or present it to someone, and and they might go, yeah, we like it, or we would rather you do this or that, or no, you can't use Contra, you didn't have to use these games, whatever it might be. So
yeah.
So there's a lot going on here. And we will get to, like, Scott doesn't really talk about the future as much in the video, but I think we can kind of...
Is this all... I'm gonna overanalyze this just for a second, okay? So all of these...
Lots of Fox News clip.
By year.
Yeah. So these right here, this is everything that's coming out next year. All of them. That's it. So they're going to redo Street Fighter. We're going to get Marvel versus Capcom 2. We're going to get Dragon Slayer. And then what's that other? We've got Miss Pac-Man, and then I'm sorry, I can't see that other one.
Yeah,
I don't recognize it.
I don't actually know what the game that is. But dude, this is a Fox News clip, so there's nothing. And I don't think there's a big.
No, they did it on
Street...
purpose.
No, there's no. I mean, people would flip out if they did. No, seriously, people would flip out if they did Marvel versus Capcom 2. I know I would.
Right.
Street Fighter the movie, the game is actually not bad, although Zohar would literally lose his absolute crap if because it's just like, you know, it is a ripoff of, I mean, the full motion video, like no one does it like MK did. But yeah, so those are just games in there, but that would be a really awesome, if that was a
wait
possibility,
a second.
that'd be awesome.
I just found something else. Look closely.
What?
Way in the right-hand corner, do you see what game's there?
Okay, this is Justin creating hype out of nothing. That's not none of that stuff. I mean, okay, go back to the thing really quick.
Okay.
I mean, the one thing that is interesting, I mean, this is a Fox News clip. This isn't, you know, something they the one thing I will say is obviously I think we're going to get the Dragon Slayer for sure, because I think that's probably going to happen.
Okay.
Marvel versus Capcom 2, that would be awesome. I think everybody would be super ultra stoked on something like that because it's such an iconic, it's such an iconic game. Street Fighter the movie, I want to know what arcade they're in here, but Street Fighter the movie, the game, or whatever the heck it is, it's actually kind of a fun game, believe it or not. I actually just recently bought the arcade board for that because the only reason why I bought it is, funny fact, is Incredible Technologies that did Golden Tee did that freaking game for Capcom, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't know if you knew that, but
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. And obviously there's one in there that they're, you know, the never gonna happen cabinet is the Miss Pac-Man, right? I mean, that's never gonna happen.
Okay, let's see what other cabinets
legal
that are
mumbo
never
jumbo
gonna happen.
that
So
game.
man, they're doubling down on this Miss Pac-Man. I want those side by side. Then we got Mr. Dude, Donkey Kong. Look, all of these coming out in 2021.
Dude, you're so stretching it here. Okay, guys, seriously, Justin's on crack. He's none of that's happening.
Dude, they're gonna redo Galaga.
No. I mean, he's having fun with the video.
Mortal Kombat 2 re-release happening.
No, well, that might happen, but what was that? Stop
See?
it. Stop. Okay, you're going too fast now, and I can't see what's going on.
That's P-Dubs' Arcade Loft. That's pretty sweet.
No, it's not.
That's Cool Toys Room. It's pretty sweet. Yeah. That's the Turtles commercial.
Is it bad that Zohar keeps asking me if I have Zell, and I don't even know what Zell is? But
then you don't have Zell.
Okay, I don't know what it is, so clearly I don't know. No is the answer because I don't even know what that is. Do you know what this means?
Yeah.
It means that this damn thing doesn't work at all. So yes. So what's next though? Like, what could they do? Because we know what they're doing between now and the end of the year, right?
What they didn't highlight very much in this video was pinball. They just a little.
Yeah, they just scratched the surface on the pinball.
Yeah. So we know pinball is going to be big. They announced at least two versions, right? And we think more are coming, right? But what do you think, Ralph?
So on the pinball, I think I'm just gonna stick with. I don't really have any pinball predictions necessarily. I think those are gonna come out, and I think they're gonna be really good. I mean, there were things I did get to play it at. I got to play it, but
thank you, Terry, we really appreciate you clarifying what Zell is. Zell is Zohar's sister.
What?
Okay, so Zell is a way to, like, banks allow you to pay without.
And this episode of One Up Weekly is sponsored by Zell. No, so they're gonna like sue us now. That's awesome.
But I thought that was pretty funny.
That would be the perfect end to today. Like, I'm a scammer and I got sued. So yeah, so there we go. Proof. Yeah, that's awesome. Keep it coming. So yeah, so there's obviously some things going on. What are you doing?
I'm just reading the chat. It's hilarious.
No, Zell isn't a dating site. Oh my god, we're gonna get sued. This
Yeah.
is all I need today as we get sued. Let me get back to my thought. You know me. If I dropped my thought, it's gone and I can't get it back.
Okay. Pinball.
So, all right. So on the pinball, the one thing I will say, so I got a chance to play it at CES. The thing was pretty sweet. It was still in prototype mode, obviously, so it was conceptual, but they did have the force feedback there, which was, I was impressed that they even had a way to do that at the price point that they're talking about. So depending on how that's going to evolve, I really did feel like they did a good job. And a lot of people had questioned on their screen being sort of lowered, but what I found is that the way they had the bezel, it kind of gave you this depth that that effect gave a depth to the cabinet, like a depth to the playfield, which I thought was really neat. Obviously, it's early day prototype for it, so what we saw at CES is obviously going to get better once it comes to the final product. Still looks pretty sweet though, so we'll see. I think maybe the only thing I have to put it up as a super chat, right? $2 Stringer Films. What in the hell is a P-dubs? Stringer Films, I've been asking myself that for about 5 or 6 months now. So
the world may never know.
But yeah. So
I think
this is all about the
P-dubs
train of thought episode. Loss of train of thought.
I think P-dubs might be Zohar's sister. Not funny.
Anyway, what
you lost your track,
what happened?
right?
No, but go back to the thing. I guess. All right. Okay, so I guess you want to. I guess he wants to bring this up now. So cool. I always go over to other people's channels and bring up stuff that I did say I'd bring up at the end of the channel. So it's cool. All right. Well, he says, in all fairness, Ralph, he should have sold the cabinet as is. Today would have never happened. However, he told him he would fix it, and 4 months later. Okay. Clearly, he does not know the whole story. So we're going to park this one for the end, but thank you so much, P-Dubs. That was so nice of you to bring that up during the show. We'll get back to you at the end of the show, though. I'm going to get rid of your comment. So peace out to the loft. Go back to the loft and play some games. All right, so let's get back to the video.
Okay, then. I'm on the video.
All right, cool. So one thing about the cabinet on the pinballs that I was like kind of wondering is, what are they going to do with that empty space? Now, typical in a pinball machine would have been like instructions of how to play and stuff like that. So I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know what they're going to do with that space. But to me, that was like where I had my palms, so I wasn't really focused on that space. But again, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do there.
I'm talking about right here, this little extra.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be there in the final or what. Obviously, we don't know.
They're going to put a big joystick there. How about that?
Yeah, well, hey, actually, there are cabinets like that. So there are cabinets where they've actually put joysticks there, so you can play horizontal games on the back glass. This is not an active back glass; it just has the DMD. But there are cabinets like that. So if this does come out like that, and that was plexiglass, that actually would be a kind of a cool mod to put like a single joystick there, and if you want to mod it. But anyways,
yeah.
So
cool.
I did want to talk about like what could we possibly think they might do that's predictions for the future, right? Because there's definitely there's definitely some things that could happen in the future, right? I mean, what are they going to work on? Like, what are they going to release? So we know that maybe the Dragon's Lair thing, right? We know that might be a possibility, or it could happen.
Yeah, it's a pretty good chance.
And then I wonder, like, what other cabinets are they thinking about doing? Like, is a Marvel versus Capcom 2 or a Marvel versus Capcom possible? Are they going to retool the fighters? I think there's a lot of interest in retooling the fighters. Zohar is actually a big supporter of that. He started a whole YouTube channel there, which is pretty cool. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of possibilities for the future. And I think the thing is with the idea that there's like multi-cades and then there's like single cabinet designs, I don't think you'll see Arcade1up go that route. I think their whole thing is to, be beneficial to the publisher of the games, right? And when you do a multi-cab that you can allow for adding games, the publishers are probably going to have not a lot of interest in that, to be honest, right? I mean, they're going to go, well, why would I give you the license to the game when someone could sideload the game? So there's that to actually worry about. And I think for 1UP, they're more, hey, we want to focus on recreating an experience. Now, did they think people were going to fill whole rooms with them? Probably not, but they did,
What do you think?
Yeah, so there's two avenues that I think they're going to go.
Yeah.
One is shooting and one is racing. Now, we saw that mock-up, whether it's real or not. It was a big buck hunter shooting cab. I don't think that picture was real, to be honest, but it could have been. But I think they will absolutely. What is the problem, Justin? You're all over the place.
I'm sorry, but this is just too funny.
Wait, what? I have to show month subscription of Farmers Only. Wait, what?
No.
Wait,
no,
are you
no.
paying for me to?
This has got to be the funniest thing I've read all day.
I just love that I have like this conscious thing coming in here. Like, is it necessary to tell me what I did wrong? Seriously, on my own show? Like, go to your show. Seriously, I'm not. No, right now, go. If you're gonna come in here and say stuff like that, go to your show. Goodbye. Leave. I don't want to hear from you. Thank you.
Wow.
So
That got awkward really quick.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even know the story, and he's coming in here talking smack. Go away.
Well,
I don't want to hear from him.
To be fair, he did say, I just joined 5 minutes ago, and then if you read the comment, he's basically saying, in all fairness, well, we've been dealing with this all day. You've been dealing with this for 5 minutes.
This is the wrong day to mess with me, actually. So if you want, you can keep putting stupid comments in there, and I'll keep putting them up on the screen, but it's probably the wrong day to mess with me. Probably the wrong day. All right, anyways, let's get back to the show. And I'm doing this all with a woman's headband. That's right. Don't care.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. Thank you, Seth. Appreciate that super chat.
Right.
So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Oh my gosh, there's so many super chats coming on. Tech Toy TV, awesome guy. Thank you for the super chat. He says fan for life. He is the GOAT. Except for Tech Toy TV. Except for Tech Toy TV. Haha, got your back. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't understand the comment. But I love Tech Toy TV. He actually did a collaboration video with me a while back where he was a big fan of. You're really distracting me today, Justin. What's going on? You're laughing.
The
what
chat
is going on?
Going nuts, dude.
Well, it probably should. There's a lot going on. Anyways.
All right, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, Tech Toy TV did a collaboration of a Moonwalker cabinet, and I loved it. And I loved it. So he did the Moonwalker, but he did the Moonwalker with an original arcade board, and he knew that I was kind of really into the original arcades. And for those of you that are new to the channel and you've never gone back and watched my old ones, a lot of what I was doing back then was putting original boards into these Arcade1ups, like putting original arcade boards. Oh my gosh, Justin. Wait, he's gone. He left. He put himself out of the chat. All right. Justin left. I guess he's going to come back. Stringer Films, $5 super chat. Thank you, Mommy. That's the guy who asked to. Oh, I should definitely read those before putting them up. Okay.
You know why I was
Stringer
laughing.
Films. All right.
Yeah, pre-read the super chat.
And Beers with Joe gave me a farmer. I don't know what I'm going to do with I paid for a month sub to Farmers Only. What? Wait. For who? No one here needs Farmers Only. That's funny. Actually, funny thing about Farmers Only is that I actually had my credit card information compromised at one point, and I was at dinner with my family, and I'm like, I was getting alerts.
With my family? That's
not
awesome,
with my
dude.
family. With my family. I had to say it faster. My family. So I was at dinner with my family, and my
family.
I got this. Yeah, like Bank of America sends those chats when something happens. And it's not chats, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And they sent me a super chat. They sent me a super chat. You just got compromised. No, but they sent them a text message, right? And and in the text message it said like your card has been compromised. Like, do you recognize these charges? And I'm reading them out loud to my family. I'm like, damn it, this is the second time this happened this year. And I'm like, what the hell's Farmers Only? And this was like 3 years ago. And my brother's like, that's a dating website for farmers. I'm like, shut up. I'm like, why the hell is that person stealing my card? Like, anyways, it's funny. Anyways.
That's funny.
Yeah, so, wow, I'm way off track here. But do you want me to spend a couple minutes talking about what occurred here?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, so, okay. I'm not perfect. I've made some mistakes, okay?
Wait.
Yeah.
What story are you talking about? Where are you going with
I'm
this?
talking about what happened with the NBA Jam thing.
Oh, you're talking about this incident.
If you want to try to pull up the video of the cabinet I sold, it's the Mega NBA Jam mod, I think. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, so I usually don't sell the arcades that I build. I almost never sell them. And the main reason, I talk to Kim about this all the time. I go, it's hard to sell modded cabinets because, you know, sometimes you customize things and it's hard to explain to someone how something works because it might have like an original arcade board. And a lot of my stuff does. A lot of the stuff in the storage room has original arcade boards. And the NBA Jam actually does. It has the Midway NBA Jam Tournament Edition board. So anyway, so this guy on offer, I went to sell it on OfferUp. I had it on there for a really long time. And there's a guy that was a super fan of NBA Jam, like super, super fan. I think he even held certain championships of the game. He was that into it, right? Mm-hmm. So anyways, so long story short, he responds and he's really into it. Now, there were other people that responded and wanted to buy it, but I kind of wanted to sell it to this guy because he was such a fan of the game, right? So anyways, he comes down to the storage unit after we went back and forth a lot because either he couldn't make it to the storage unit or I couldn't make it there. So it took me a while to actually sell it to him. Sold it to him for $750. When he was in the storage unit, I gave him a full overview of the cabinet. I took the back off. I showed him, like, here's the soundboard, here's the PCB. You know, he played it, right? Now, I didn't, in my defense, have it as, I don't think that's the one, actually, Justin. That's the first one.
Oh, that's the first one.
I modded this cabinet twice. So
right,
it's actually like a modded 2x cabinet. So he played it, right? Now, in I guess I didn't put in OfferUp as is, right? I didn't put that in there. So he bought it. I helped him load it into his SUV. He brought it home. I didn't hear from him for maybe a couple weeks. I don't know if it was a week or a couple weeks.
I think you skipped the part where you spent a lot of time with him, showing him how it works.
No, I did. I said that. You were doing something else. Yeah, we went through how it works. I showed him how to get into the test menu, everything. I did, and I've sold 2 other cabinets. I did that exact same thing with people. I really try to make sure they understand how it works and everything like that. Now, granted, here's the part that I'll get to. Now, I didn't have the controls. So if you're looking at an NBA Jam, you have player 1 and 2 on the JAMA harness, and 3 and 4 are a kick harness. So you need to have the kick harness to do that. I had it set up that you could play on the same team together, not against each other. It wasn't like I did that on purpose. It was just that's how I wired it up because I don't have friends to play with. They can play side by side, but co-op wasn't even in my mind. But I wasn't even thinking about that. So anyway, so he brings it home, and I guess like I don't know the exact time frame, but he got it home, and he was upset with the way the controls were laid out. Now, this is where I'll tell you a little bit about me as a person. I say yes to everyone because I want to make everyone happy. It's my tragic flaw. I do. Justin, being my friend, knows that sometimes I'll overstretch myself to try to make everyone happy. It's just how I am. Yep. I've always been that way. But a lot of my own stress is because I do that. I'm like, I want to actually like make people happy. So anyways, so I said to him, and I should have said at that point, hey, look, I can't fix that, or I can't support that, or whatever. But what I did say is I said, I'll order the kick harness, which I did. It's on my desk somewhere. I said, order the kick harness and I'll fix it for you. Mm-hmm. So I committed to doing that. Now, weeks went by, maybe even months went by. We went back and forth on different, oh my gosh, so hard. Really wish I've got to figure out how to get that back to him. That's not okay. I told him not to do that, actually. So we went back and forth, and I said I'd come. We booked an appointment together. I didn't make it. He had to cancel, so went back and forth. We're busy, right? He lives 15 minutes from here, but we both have busy lives. He's a manager in IT. I manage people, and this was pre-COVID, so things are really crazy with work. So anyways, we go back and forth, and it's just unresolved. Now, I didn't make good on that commitment. The last message I sent to him, as we were going back and forth, was basically, look, this sucks, and this is the reason why I don't sell cabinets, because I can't support them after they're gone, especially something that's custom like this, because you got to go, and there's no way I could walk him through it probably, plus he didn't have the harness. Now, I wasn't thinking I probably could have mailed him the harness and maybe did like a FaceTime or something, but I wasn't thinking about that. So anyway,
isn't it in the conversation, there was like he came back and like, oh, you can make a video of it, right? You know, you can post something.
He was saying that he has a lot of really cool stuff at his house, and I could go to his house and fix it, and we could make a video of it or whatever. Right. And time passed. I just didn't have the time to do it. So the last message I sent to him was me. I sent the last one. It was on, I think it was April 6th. This is why I was so blindsided today. Now, granted, a long period of time went by, but I gave him a solution. He might not have liked the solution, but I don't know that because he went straight to his brother, who then went and spammed all the world calling me a scammer. Basically, I said to him, look, why don't you sell the PCB out of the cabinet because you can get like $300-400 for it because it's an original Midway freaking board. It's awesome. It's worth a lot of money.
Do I understand it correctly? Like, kind of at this point, he's paid all this money for this arcade cabinet. He bought it. You showed it to him, and it was some time had passed when then he was like, it wasn't really buyer's remorse. He was like, oh wait, there's a couple ways to configure this cab. I wish it was the other way. I wish it was head to head instead of co-op. So his friends would come over and he's like, let's play against the computer. And his friends were like, no. I want to play against you. Let's have a rivalry, right? And he's like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Calls you and says, hey, how to do that? He's like, oh, you just configure it differently. And so, but the sale was complete at this point. The sale was completely complete.
Yeah.
And you went out of your way and said, hey, if you're unhappy, you were really like, you would have done this with anyone. Like, forget for a moment that you sold him the cab. If anyone on YouTube, just YouTube, commented, hey, could you tell me how to do that? You probably would have said, like, look into this.
Yeah, but
you would have sent them in the right direction.
He didn't have the comfort level to do it himself. So it was one of those things where he couldn't do it. So anyways, and it's not MAME, by the way. Someone said it's MAME. It's not MAME. So this is original hardware. It's original arcade hardware. So he needed to get that kick harness.
Right. So at this point, you're like, well, if you don't like the way it's configured and I'm super, super busy, here's an alternative. You know, that is an original Midway arcade cabinet.
Yeah, so I basically said, yeah, I said you could sell the board. I said if you wanted to, it'd be easier. You could throw the board on eBay, and I told him, I said, whatever you get for it, I'll pay the difference. That's in the last message I sent to him. So that was my last. Now, keep in mind, I don't know whether he actually liked that. Well, clearly he didn't like that offer because he never responded, and then all of a sudden I get hit with this today. But I want you guys to make sure, like, I'm not saying I wasn't in the wrong for making the commitment to fix it. I shouldn't have made those commitments to fix it because I just didn't have the time, and we kept putting it off. And that's why I did that last proposal, because I was like, I'm never going to get over there to fix it. So at least I shouldn't say fix it, configure it the way he wanted it, because it wasn't broken. It just wasn't configured the way he wanted. The other thing that he wasn't happy with is he wasn't happy with the display. But those Midway boards, when you do, so those Midway boards, it's an original arcade board. So in order to get it into a Arcade1up monitor, you got to go from CGA to VGA, and you use these little converter boards. Now, when you use those, they're sometimes not perfect. There's like a little bit of snow sometimes, like not snow, but a little bit of noise. Like they're not always perfect, but I got it as dialed in as I could. It looked pretty good for a Midway board. Those Midway boards hooked up to LCDs can look iffy sometimes, but I thought it looked really good.
Right.
So anyway, totally my fault for making that commitment, not making good on it. But my last transmission to him, my last text to him was to come up with a proposal, which he never told me whether he was okay with or not. And then his brother, I wake up this morning to his brother calling me a scam artist, and it was all over. And so it really was a crappy thing to do that. And plus my phone number was everywhere. It was like my phone number, my personal information, which I know a lot of you guys, I'm pretty open with that. Like if you watch some of my videos when I'm doing things like Steam, you actually see my first and last name. So people know me pretty well. So it's just like one of those things. It just really wasn't a cool way to handle it. So I was so frustrated with the whole thing. I was just like, you know what? Screw it. Keep the cabinet. I don't give a shit at this point. Keep it, and here's $750. So I refunded all the money, and I told him to keep the cabinet. I don't want to. And then he asked me on the phone. We did have a phone conversation. He said, "Do you want to come here and fix it?" I'm like, would I really want to come to your house after you have like put my stuff everywhere and slammed me everywhere? Probably not. That's probably not going to be a very friendly interaction with me and this guy. So, but the thing is, this wasn't the original buyer. This was the buyer's brother. So it just sucks. It is what it is. And, that's how I handled it. I hated that I handled it that way, but I gave him the $750 and just said, fine. Now, I will 100% own the one thing that you guys need to know about me is I've made some mistakes in my YouTube career. I'm a really competitive person. I've actually like ruined some relationships through YouTube where like I got so competitive that I overstretched my boundaries, and I'll own those things. I did that. But I do think that sometimes I don't channel my competitive nature in the right way. And so that's something I need to live with, right? If I did that, that's something and I would own those. I do own those. And so This is another one. I own this, but I feel like I have a little bit of a wrong element in here. But at the end of the day, like what he did was completely wrong to do to someone.
Yeah.
So It is what it is.
I'm going to say something about that other thing. We won't go into detail about it, but there has been mistakes that Ralph has made. And being a very close friend of his, I've had to hear it like for months, right? Like, he said months ago before CES, there was an incident that took place. It has nothing to do with his NBA Jam, but that's a scenario where immediately afterwards he was like, "This sucks, Justin. I made a mistake." And he tried to apologize to that person, and the person blocked him. There was no apology being received. I tried to reach out to him, be like, "Hey, he said he was sorry," and there was nothing. It was done. And Ralph's just had to live with that. And that's what he's talking about, where he's just like, okay.
Now I said some not so. My approach was completely not okay. Like, my approach was wrong. My approach was probably a little bit, I don't know, like a little bit aggressive, right? Not swearing or being vulgar or doing anything like that. But I think I actually was questioning someone's authenticity in something they were putting out there. And actually, a lot of people had no clue that I even did it or who it was even about. That's the thing, is no one even knew. It would have been hard for anyone to even pick up who it was. So anyways, that was a mistake I made. But hey, you know what? I got to live with those, and it is what it is. But this isn't the kind of stuff I really want to talk about on the channel, but it did happen, and I just felt like this course of events is crappy as it is. I had to do something and talk to you guys about it. But
I can't believe it. The guy that you upset,
the one person the one person that I was hoping I could make better, I could wrong the right.
Oh my
God. It was Rexer Show. I was like,
finally, 6 months the apology has been accepted. That's awesome, Rexer.
I know. Rexer, if you don't know Rexer Show, we met him at CES. He's a really good guy. Yeah. I've become friends with him over the last become better friends with him over the last couple months. Go subscribe to his channel if you get a chance. He's very much like content focused. What is with all the laughing?
Nothing
from you. So this came up. I'm not okay with this. So I'm sending this back to you somehow, dude, because this isn't okay.
I read earlier he said the refund, the super chats are as is.
No, this is gonna get returned, Zohar. I can't do that, man. It's just not okay.
Okay, wait.
I'm not.
I have an idea. Okay,
what?
I don't think Zohar's gonna take your money back. But what if we do something really cool with the money that's for the community, right?
Okay. Well, do you have any ideas?
I don't know.
Are you gonna do one of those things where you throw an idea at me and you're like,
I have an idea. Let's do a giveaway.
No, please, no giveaway. So I will say, hey,
I have an idea. We're gonna give away an NBA Jam cabinet. That'll
no way. No. Well, actually, the one other thing I did mention, I was so frustrated this morning. I was like, look, dude, I'll give you my NBA Jam cabinet when it comes. I still would if the guy's that upset. But now that I gave him the 750, I'm not going to.
I think the 750.
He could buy. Yeah, he could buy.
And I watched that video. You had a disclaimer in there. You said if that would make him happy.
Yeah.
I think the 750 was the end of that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Michael. Don't try to rile things up here. I'm not gonna say anything, so it just is what it is. I'm gonna take the high road. I'm not gonna say anything, so it is what it is. What good does if here's the thing, right?
Giveaway shirts
in real life, right? Yeah, does everyone like you have to coexist sometimes with people in your normal day-to-day job that maybe you're like, I don't know if I want him to come over for him or her to come over for dinner and hang out with my family, like. I'm good, right? And that's the same here. Like, if you think about it, YouTube is a company. We all work for YouTube, right? I mean, I get paid by YouTube with ad revenue. Not a lot, but there's a little bit there. And so we all we all work for them. And some of us have different ways of going about how we articulate information out to the community. Some of us are hype men. Some of us are tutorial guys. Some of us put forward a lot more of our personality than others. So like, I kind of view myself as what you see is what you get. Like, I'm a goofy guy. That's how I am in real life. Justin knows that. I call him, probably annoy him sometimes. I used to do this thing where he'd pick up and I'd be all, console kits, yeah, woo, console kits, woo, woo. And he's like, okay, like I'm ready to have a conversation with you, and I'll keep going to annoy him. Like, that's just who I am. So,
yep. It
is what it is. YouTube is my daddy, someone said. It's an anonymous user from Facebook. Yeah. But keep in mind too, the other thing is, it's not a full-time job for me, guys. You got to remember that. Like, I just do this as a hobby. So I am extremely passionate about it, as you guys know. I really take a lot of pride in what I put out there. But I'm a human being at the same time. So it is what it is, right? But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys a story. I'm sorry that it's you kind of got all thrown into the drama, but sometimes that stuff happens, right? I knew it would happen eventually. I knew I couldn't go this long on YouTube without having something. I just wonder if it's going to get picked up by that guy, the guy that calls himself. He's a really good guy. Do you guys remember the what was it? Okay, I'm calmed down now. P-Dubs. I appreciate the $5 beer. Still kind of want to punch you a little bit, but maybe I didn't read the chat right. Okay, sometimes I go fast, so all good. Virtual hug, you and I. Okay, we're good. Him and I bicker anyway. but yeah, the story sucks. It is what it is, though, and it happened today on Mother's Day. By the way, if there are any mothers out there, definitely happy Mother's Day, and I hope you had a great day. But I have family here right now that I need to actually go to, so we need to do final thoughts and wrap this show up. Hey guys, are you ready, Justin?
Yep.
Hey guys, it's final thoughts time.
Do I do the guitar cam? No,
Sure.
it's all you, dude. Let's do this.
All right. So, all right. Hey guys, it's final thoughts time. So, what did we learn today during this episode of the 1UP Weekly? We learned that Scott Baccarat seems like a really nice guy, and he's trying as hard as he can to improve the overall quality of the product. And there's probably some pretty exciting things coming down the road from Arcade1up that we should all be excited about. So long live the arcades. We also learned that I'm a scam artist, and I will take your money and sell you arcades that don't work. We also learned that Justin, we don't know how much, but Justin definitely invested a lot of money in a camera that serves no purpose other than to show you how cool he is when he plays the guitar. We also learned that Justin actually doesn't just wear that one hooded sweatshirt, because he's not wearing that today, which actually shocked me just as much as it shocked you. And that's it for now. So take it home, Justin. Yeah.
All right,
What do you want him to do? Do you want him to do a little bit of... Is there any last minute requests before we go? Actually, it looks like I'm playing the guitar. Hold on. How do I do that? I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I was gonna do a silly song, but I decided not to.
All right, guys. That's it. Do we have anything else?
I think that's
No
it.
closing time tonight?
No. I was gonna do a song that like made fun of you about the whole NBA
Do it.
Jam thing. No.
Come on, no. I want you to do it. Who wants
I
him to
don't-
make fun of me on the guitar? Come on. You got to. Dude, you can't tease me like that and not do it. I don't know what everyone is blowing up on Detroit Love. So I like Detroit Love. So props to Detroit Love. I don't know if he's in the chat or what, but everyone's like getting crazy on Detroit Love right now. So Detroit Love, if you're in there, we love you, buddy. I don't know where you are, but everyone is talking about you right now. So everyone is very excited. All right. So we're gonna roll. We're dropping like flies, buddy. You know what happens.
It's really
after the hour
dumb.
mark.
Okay, here we go.
All right, this is Justin made the song up.
Mind, innocence is kind. There's no comfort in the truth. Pain is all we. Love's never gonna sell arcades again. 'Cause OfferUp has got no refunds. That's all I got. I was just it's stupid.
Wait, hold on. Is it what's the
That
lyrics?
guy is just a fool. Should've known better not to cheat a friend. Anyway.
Wait. What is this? What is the lyric? It's never gonna sell arcades again.
Yeah.
Because
never
OfferUp
gonna
has no
say it.
refunds.
'Cause OfferUp has got no refunds. It was easy. No, you're not a fool. Should've known better to cheat a friend.
Cause offer up ain't got no refunds.
So it's easy to pretend.
Oh my god. Oh, that's so
Anyway,
freaking
all right,
awesome,
that's-
dude.
I wish I could sing better. Then it would be way cooler. Anyway, so
All right, guys.
I think that's all we have for today. So
And we will see you on
the next,
the next one. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Take care. Have a good Mother's Day, all the mothers out there.
Yeah. Take care, guys.
Peace out.